Welcome to part 2 of my Ultimate Nintendo Switch collection. I have over 200 Nintendo Switch games, and today we are looking at my favourite part of the collection, JRPGs. Now, last time we did touch on the Xenoblade games as part of the first party ones, but today we are looking at so many fantastic JRPGs because honestly, the Switch has become a JRPG machine. From Final Fantasy to Octopath to Bravely Default, Persona, Grandia, Suikoden, so many forgotten past classic titles. And today we're going to have a look at some of my favourites. Let's have a look, shall we? First up is Rune Factory, and yeah, I like Rune Factory. I like the farming simulator games, but I kind of feel like after Stardew Valley, a lot of the others started to pale in comparison, which is a huge shame. Brigandine. Now, this is a re-release or remake of a PlayStation 1 title that we never got in the UK. I played it. I'm going to be honest, I found it very difficult to get into. It was very overwhelming, the amount of tutorials and stuff, so I never really touched much of it. Baten Kaitos is another one that I really wanted to get into. I think this released on the same weekend as Pikmin 1 and 2. Of course I picked Pikmin 1. And I always said I'm going to get back to it. I did play the GameCube version quite a bit. And again, this was another one where FOMO built into it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have to get this one before it gets too expensive. Iodine Chronicles. Oh my god, the Kickstarter on this one was an experience. So I backed the Kickstarter for this one years ago. And it released last year to mixed results, and to the point that the Switch version apparently was broken on launch. I've never played the Switch version. I went out and bought the PlayStation 5 one. Why? Because this one just didn't ship for ages. This took a year to ship, and yeah, at that point Suikoden 1 and 2 had been released, so I never went back to it. But I'm going to have a try of this one because I'm hoping that the Switch 2 does make this one run a little bit better. Next up is an import, and that is Chrono Cross. I love Chrono Trigger. It's not one of my top 10 RPGs of all time. I love this franchise, but it's not that high. Chrono Cross, I played about 10 minutes of it. Honestly, couldn't get into it. But it's one that a lot of people really love, and I appreciate that. I'm going to give it another shot, but like I said, 10 minutes, I just put it down, never touched it again. I need to change that. Harvestella. It's Square Enix's answer to Rune Factory. It's fun, it's a little bit long-winded, it's a bit hard to get into, but yeah, I liked it. Bravely Default is a game that I have not really played. Now, I sold my Bravely Default 3DS version, which was the legendary one with the very ugly figure, and back at the big start of the year. Same with Octopath and stuff like that. I just wasn't going to play them, but this one's still in my collection. I do want to buy Octopath again, just as the standard one. I was kind of cleaning out a lot of these collector's editions and stuff like that because I wasn't really gaining anything from them. Next up we have Valkyria Chronicles and Valkyria Chronicles 4. Now, this is a limited run edition, and honestly this is one of my favourite games of all time. But when people ask me what's my thoughts on Uncharted, I always say, well, Uncharted is a game that I got with my PlayStation 3. I didn't like it. I sold it and bought Valkyria Chronicles, which ended up becoming one of my favourite games of all time. Yeah, it's a fantastic series. I really implore people to check it out. I haven't had a chance to open it. I had to own it physically because, of course, I do own this one digitally, so I might just play through it digitally and keep this one sealed for a while. Never touched Valkyria Chronicles 4 though. I was so excited for it, just never picked it, never really bothered with it. Next up is one of the greatest games of all time, and surprisingly a great port on the Nintendo Switch 1. I don't think it works on Switch 2 though, unless it's been updated recently. One of the greatest games of all time, absolutely fantastic. Again, Nier was a game that really changed my life, and Nier Automata is one of those games that sticks with you. I still regularly listen to the soundtrack. It is such a good release. Shining Resonance Refrain. Mega Man Battle Network. I just really spoke about this one. I haven't had a chance to play on it, but I know there's a lot of people who love this one. But yeah, it's a beloved franchise that I can own as a bundle. I don't think this is actually an RPG, but hey, it's coming in now. It's Japanese, and that's Getsu Funden Undying Moon. It's still sealed. Don't know if it's expensive now. It was cheap on Amazon at the time. It looked incredibly cool. This is one of those ones where I just bought it because of the box art alone. It looks cool. I want to try and get it played sometime. Front Mission First.
So this one's a decent one. I played a lot of this one about 2 or 3 years, 2 years ago I think it was. When I was on holiday, I played through a bunch of this one. I really liked it. The second and third one's out. I think the second one might be a limited run or it's a limited release, and the third one, it's been translated by AI. So this probably is where it ends from now. Konosuba, a cheap one. I think this is all over in CX. I think this was super cheap, and I think it was expensive in CX, so people just bought it and sold it to CX. But I've not had a chance to play it. It probably just needs to go in with the visual stuff. But I love Konosuba. I mean, Aqua is just about in every single video here. But yeah, I love the franchise. I love this these idiots. But yeah, I want to try and pick this one up and play it sometime because it looks fun. This is the game that kickstarted me collecting Switch games. I was buying Switch games here and there, but I saw this one for so cheap and I was like, you know what, I want it. And I picked this one up, and I think the Klonoa release, and yeah, I really like this one. I've never played through Secret of Mana originally, so it was nice to be able to play through it. But I think that's the one I spent the most time on, was the Final Fantasy Legend one, which was a game that I always used to see in Wolves, but never played. And we have Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life, which is a remake of the GameCube game, or the GameCube Harvest game. And we have Void 2, that. I own Alliance Alive, HD, Awakening Edition. I played it. It was by the people who made Suikoden, apparently. I couldn't get into it, if I'm honest. I think there's another one called Destiny Duelist. I don't know. I need to get that one, but yeah, this one I think is getting quite expensive, so it's going to be one of those ones, again, I knew was going to be rare in the near future. Tactics Ogre Reborn was a game I was really excited for. I love these Fire Emblem type games, or these turn-based strategy games. I really like them. I had a really great time with this one. A very underappreciated title, I think. I think it got a lot of hype when it first came out, but then it's kind of dwindled down a little bit, which is a huge shame. Adventure Academia. I've never played it. It was cheap. It's in the collection. This is one I really wanted to try out. I just never really got the chance, and that is Grimoire Once More. Now, this is by the same artist who did Unicorn Overlord and 18 Sentinels and all of those games, Dragon's Crown. Don't know why Dragon's Crown never got a release on the Nintendo Switch. I thought that would have been an obvious one, but yeah, I never played it, but it looks pretty, and yeah, like I said, I keep games sealed if I haven't had a chance to play with them. Simply put, one of the greatest games of all time is Suikoden 2, at least one of the greatest JRPGs of all time. I still probably is the greatest JRPG of all time in my opinion, and it got a nice little bundle release at the beginning of the year. I played from Suikoden at the beginning of the year, then Xenoblade X came out. I haven't went back to Suikoden 2. It's sitting there. I kind of just want the right mood to play through it. Some of these JRPGs, like I said, they're fairly long, so it's like I don't have enough time to sit and play through them all. Rhapsody. I never played much of this one. I think I played the second one. I played about 4 or 5 hours of it. Yeah, it's a fantastic series. Definitely worth checking out. Next up we have the Final Fantasy collection. We've got Final Fantasy Pixel collection. Through this one I played 1, 4, 5, and haven't played 6 yet. Never played 2 or 3. Ugh. But yeah, the best Final Fantasy games in my opinion is number 6 and number 4. I do love Tactics, I love X and X2, but 4 and 6 are 2 of my favourites of all time. I'm so happy to own them. This is the PlayAsia one because of course at the time they weren't really big. They were being a bit cagey whether or not they would release it, but yeah. Next up is Live Alive, a fantastic SNES game that is now on the Nintendo Switch. Again, another one that I think is fairly underrated. Probably going to be fairly expensive eventually. We also have Tales of Vesperia. Now, Tales of is a franchise that I really love. Tales of Symphonia and Fantasia for the Game Boy Advance. But after that, I kind of feel like the franchise kind of just fell off a little bit for me. I do need to pick up Graces because I did enjoy that one. But this one, I played maybe the first hour or so and just really couldn't get into it, but I need to try it. Grandia 1 and 2. I mentioned this in the PlayStation 1. I'd probably play the first 2 or 3 hours and then stop every single time. I've not touched it on the Nintendo Switch. It's on my list. Every time I go on holiday I'm like, I'm going to play through Grandia. I never do. Knights of Azure 2. This was an early launch title that went very cheap very fast, and that's for a reason because I think it's fairly broken. I've not played it. Star Ocean 2, again another one that was out on the PlayStation 1, and another one that I kind of really enjoyed on PlayStation 1, but enjoyed so much more on the Nintendo Switch. A fantastic, fantastic remake of a fantastic game. Shin Megami Tensei 5, yeah, I'm going to be honest. I played this at Christmas and then I got Spider-Man on the same day and I dropped this and played Spider-Man. I enjoyed it, but then I was about to go back to it and then they announced like a full version of it and that kind of annoyed me a little bit. I don't know, it annoys me when Atlas kind of just do this and they release a version and then they, a year or two later, they release the full version with more updates and more stuff, and I don't know, it annoys me the way they kind of handle these titles. Cross Tales and Triangle Strategy are both turn-based Fire Emblem games. I just call them Fire Emblem games, you kind of know what I mean, these turn-based strategy games. Cross Tales really harks back to Final Fantasy Tactics, which I know is now getting a release, but at the time it wasn't. This is an import, so you would have to import it, but it is definitely worth picking out. Again, another underrated gem. Ys Origin, I think this has been resealed. I need to actually open it and make sure the cartridge is actually in there, because I've had this for quite some time, but yeah, it's ugly resale. I think it's from Argos or something. That's probably Argos. It was cheap. I love the Ys series, but I've got them all on PlayStation. If I see them, I'll pick them up. Nordics I haven't played Nordics yet, but I was really hoping they were going to kind of clarify what the hell they were doing with that one, which they kind of haven't, because there's Nordics and there's Nordics Advance or Plus or whatever. Field Chronicle is another one that I bought. It was cheap. I haven't played it. And I heard it's good. I heard it wasn't great as a full price title, but I heard for like a budget title it is quite good. So I'm going to try that one. And again, it might go into underrated releases. Next up is an incredibly underrated release, and this only came out 2 years, but it is getting very expensive, especially the PlayStation version. And that is Nayota Boundless Trails. This is a spin-off to the Trails franchise. I probably should have mentioned it at the time, but I didn't. Oh well. But yeah, this is it's more like an adventure. It's kind of if Ys and Trails had a baby, you would have Nayota. Story is a little bit kind of wishy-washy. It's not like the best thing, but I really like this one. I really had a good time with it. This is a title that I watched Takashi Kiara play a few years ago, and so was this one, and I picked them both up. I haven't had a chance to play for it. This is an import, it's an American import, I think. But yeah, this was a fantastically reviewed JRPG from last year, which again, another one that just isn't getting any love. I don't know why. It kind of came and went. I didn't see anybody talking about it when it came out. Sakuna, again, this is another one of those kind of like side-scrolling, beat-em-up kind of farming games. Yeah. Oh, there's me with a Final Fantasy game. Final Fantasy 7. The good one. Final Fantasy 8. Yeah, it's a twin pack with Final Fantasy 7 and no other game that ever exists. Yeah, I mean, let's face it. This was when remake came out, and I think this dropped down to like maybe £15 or something like that. So I was just like, you know what? 15 quid for one of the greatest games of all time. That also includes 8. Yeah. Can't say no. And another one, which again, I don't know if this is going to get expensive or not, but I FOMO'd and picked this one up. This is a game that Americans have praised to high heaven for so many years, and for me, being in the UK, never played it. I played a lot of it on holiday earlier in the year and I really enjoyed it. I just stopped when I came back because the Switch 2 came out and never went back. Gonna try it. Gonna try it again. I was a good portion of the way through. I was about 2/3 of the way through as well. So yeah, really enjoyed what I played of it. So hopefully I can get back to it soon.
If you love games, you love tea, and want to help me build my Nintendo Switch collection, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. There's plenty more coming, including more pickups, more retro game finds, and of course, more tea. See you there.
Speaking of fantastic games and fantastic RPGs, we have the other one that I would see is probably the current peak of JRPGs, and that is Trails from Zero, Trails to Azure, and Trails into Reverie, the Trails of series. Now, it's a bit of a weird one on the Nintendo Switch because they kind of These two were obviously Vita games originally, and I loved my time with them on the Nintendo Switch. This game apparently didn't really work very well, and I do own 4 somewhere, but I never picked up 3, and I never picked up the Daybreak ones. I own them on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. I kind of want to go back and get them just so I can see I've got them all. Another subset to try and start and collect, but yeah, it's a fantastic franchise. It's one of the best storytelling in JRPGs currently. It's just the fact that we're now 10 games in and it's getting so rewarding every time you pick up a controller with the amount of lore and callbacks and insane shenanigans going on. It's a great one. It's a really great one. A franchise that I really want to get more into is the Atelier series. Now, Atelier Marie is an import, but yeah, I've got these two, Lydie and Stell and Sophie. I think this is the one that I pick up just about every single time I see an Atelier game in CEX on just about every single pickup video. But yeah, I want the Riser, I think it's Atelier Riser. I really want them ones, but they're hard to get, of course. Next up is a franchise that I don't think gets enough love in the West, but there's quite a lot of releases for the Nintendo Switch, and that is Dragon Quest. Now, first up we have the sub-series called Dragon Quest Builders and Builders 2. These are fairly expensive. If you want Minecraft with a story, this needs to be on your list. These are absolutely fantastic games, and honestly, 2 very underrated titles I think would fit into a lot of people's collections if they looked for it. If you like Minecraft and if you want a fairly dark story to go along with that, I mean 7, yeah, I think there's stuff in there that might be a little bit harrowing for a 7-year-old, but yeah, these are fantastic games, absolutely jewels of my collection. 2 of the best games on the console. It just works. Again, I mean, there's one bad Dragon Quest game. We'll get to that in a second, actually. We also have Dragon Quest 3 and Dragon Quest 11. I do need to pick up the 1, 2, 3 collection that they originally did. But yeah, Dragon Quest's been weird because they're trying to get more of them out, but they're just kind of, yeah, I mean, Dragon Quest 8 was like 20 years ago now. Dragon Quest 9 was on the DS. 10 was on the, it was like a online only game. I think it is out in Japan on physical, but I'm not going to touch it. I can't play it, but these are 2 of the best JRPGs out there. Absolutely fantastic. This is a retro version of, obviously, Dragon Quest 3 was on the NES originally, and this is a new one, a very, very fun title that I need to play. I played it all on the PlayStation 4, and then they released the Switch one a few years later, so I never really got too into it, but I love these games so much. 2 fantastic ones. Next up, we also have Dragon Quest Monsters, The Dark Prince. I think this is like the 3rd one. Dragon Quest Monsters was actually a game I picked up just after Pokemon on the Game Boy Color, and I fell in love with it. It was called Dragon Warrior Monsters back in the day, but yeah, I love this series so much. This one is a little bit chunky, it's a little bit clunky and not the best, but it's still a fun little title. I would really recommend picking up any of the 4 others beforehand, but don't pick up Dragon Quest Treasures. This is a spin-off. It's not great. It's kind of like, I don't know, I can see what they're trying to do, but I just really didn't enjoy my time with it. I dropped it after a few days. It does have Pecora in it, so if you can't afford Death Stranding and you want Pecora's voice is in here. I think there's a killer machine if I remember rightly. I kind of kept that through the whole game. But first up we have the NIS and we have the Disgaea ones. Disgaea is my favourite franchise that I just never complete. I completed number 1 on the DS years ago, and I bought every single release just about, apart from 6. I don't own number 6. I thought I owned number 6, but obviously I don't. Does 3 have a release on the Switch? I can't remember. But yeah, it's one of those ones I really like playing, and I get so far in and then just kind of get burned out and never touch it again. I was on a mission to complete all of NIS's flagship titles a few years ago, and I got through like 1, and then I got about 3/4 of the way through this and just stopped playing, never touched it again. Speaking of NIS, we have the NIS Classics. And yeah, these are ones which, when I started collecting Nintendo Switch, I tried to get these as a first ever subset. Now, these 2 haven't been opened. This one has, because I played through both Rapunzel and Rhapsody. And Yeah, these two are fantastic games. This one was really cute. I think it was only like 4 or 5 hours long. It's a really short game, but yeah, it's a good one. I do have Rhapsody 2. We'll get to that when we start looking at JRPGs, but yeah, I'm happy with this one as a subset. I kind of wish they would do more, but it's a really nice collection, and I really recommend picking up some of these ones. I don't see these in anybody's collection, to be honest, which is a little bit of a shame. They're very nice. They're very nice. We'll try and do some unboxings maybe and get them opened, but I'm a firm believer if I'm not playing the games, not to unbox them.
That's part 2 of my Nintendo Switch collection, and we've got another part still to go. Next time we're going to look at a focus on the third-party titles, including indies, including some imported titles. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and ring that bell so you're notified when the end of this epic saga comes to a close. See you there.